Sonic Lost World is best when it isn't trying so hard to be a Sonic game. The long-running Sega franchise has a proclivity for living in the past, which is a shame because there's evidence in Lost World of what a good modern Sonic might look like. Might, sadly, being the key word. This time around, the hot dog munching mascot goes on an adventure that is half 3D platformer, think Mario Galaxy, and half 2D platformer, think all of the Sonic games from the early 90s. I genuinely fell in love with the first third of Lost World. I do that a lot with Sonic games. The early stages are fast and full of branching paths. There are hidden locations and breakneck straightaways and lots of color. I mean, how refreshing is it to play a game like this, you know, that's bright and makes full use of the rainbow? But gradually things slowed down in Lost World, and the initial fun was spoiled by frustrating difficulty spikes and tedious 2D level design that culminated in one of the most maddening series of boss fights of recent memory. The 3D stages are noticeably better than the 2D stages. The former's floating landscapes flaunt the game's beautiful art direction and flex the platform's graphical power. On the other hand, the 2D stages are just claustrophobic and uninspired. Whichever the stage, success comes from trial and error, not learning how to play Sonic, but instead memorizing the death traps that are speckled throughout its stages. The game does an egregious job of teaching new moves. Instructions can be activated when prompts appear in a stage. It's really messy. The prompts appear on the television screen, but when they're queued up, they then switch over to an instructional text on the Wii U's gamepad. It's an absolute pain, and I accidentally ran past many of these early prompts because I'm playing a Sonic game. I want to run. I don't want to stop and find a prompt and move it to my gamepad. Even the power-ups inspired by the quite good Sonic colors cause my fingers to just twitch with irritation. In their transition to the Wii U's game, the powers adopted these cruddy controls like musical notes that make poor use of the touchscreen and an eagle power that uses the gyroscope to terrible effect. What a shame, because Sonic Lost World has some beautiful music, impressive art, and a few okay villains. Visually, they're an improvement from the hideous designs of other recent Sonic games, and those first few levels really are quite something. But a handful of fun levels do not make a great game. Sonic Lost World is front-loaded, pocked with bad boss fights, and obsessed to a fault with creating some of the coolest 2D stages of 1993. Sonic Lost World is best when it's running from the past, not towards it.